Here are some of the best meta ad hacks that I know of right now that can really help with your performance. And all these tactics I'm about to show you are ones that I implement across all of my ad accounts. So the first one is using UTMs in your meta ads. If you're not using UTMs or you're not using Meta's URL builder, you are missing out on so much data. And if you're running ads right now in Meta and you can't figure out why you not get conversions, UTMs will help you figure that out because you can look in GA4 and you can analyze traffic coming from different campaigns, different sources, and you can look at metrics like the bounce rate, the average time spent, and you can essentially work backwards and figure out, is this an ads issue or a website issue? And so if you're not using UTMs, you are missing out on so much data, and I would highly recommend that you add those in. The next tactic is for those who are doing lead forms right now. And basically, if you're not using conditional logic, then you're essentially allowing anyone to come through your lead form, regardless of whether they qualify or not. And if Meta is optimizing for the lowest cost per lead, then that might mean that it gets stuck on finding you unqualified leads. So by implementing conditional logic, you would only allow people to come through your lead form that meet the criteria that you want. So in this example here, if I was an agency and I was running ads on lead forms right now, I could ask whether that client is already working with a marketing company. If they say yes, then I can kick them out of the lead form. And if they say no, I can allow them to go to the final stage and submit that form. And so by having this set up, you actually train Meta to go and find the clients you want to attract who can afford your services or meet the qualification that you need. Using the breakdowns is another great opportunity if you run ads right now. You should be looking at the age, you should be looking at gender, location, platform, and you want to look at where is your money being spent versus what is the ROAS you're getting, what is the cost per click by these different breakdowns, CPM, CTR, and you want to use this data to just make sure that Meta is maximizing your ad spend. It's putting your budget in the places that work well for you, and that's how you can ensure that you're getting the very best out of your ads. You can also use these breakdowns to gain new learnings about your ad creative. So maybe you find that a carousel ad is working really well for ages 35 to 44, and you can take that learning and maybe produce more of that creative or try and tap into that audience a little bit more. So definitely use these breakdowns because they are really helpful. The next hack is using the offline conversions feed, and you can use this feed as a way to get additional data back to Facebook on who is converting for your service or for your product. And this works really well if you have a physical location where people can come and buy from you, because you can upload that customer information back to Meta, and that will give it additional data points and be able to track back to anyone that may have come from your campaigns. I also have clients right now who are in e-commerce that use an offline conversions feed to also feed back more data because of attribution issues. And so by having this offline conversions feed in place, you can get additional data, and that can help you better optimize the campaigns that you're running. Now, when it comes to retargeting, you have first-party audiences and third-party. First party basically means anything that happens within the platform. So liking a post, maybe clicking into a story, watching a video, that's first party because it happens within Meta or Instagram. And then third party is anyone that clicks away from those platforms and goes to your website or your mobile app. And so what I find across a bunch of ad accounts is that first party can often produce better results than third party, simply because there are people who are in your third-party audiences that actually get picked up by your first-party audiences because of attribution issues. For example, if you went heavier on engagement retargeting, then you're pretty much going to pick up everybody that went to your website because they will have also had to engage with your ad before they got to the website. And so I've just seen better ROAS by going heavier on first-party retargeting. This next one applies on the ad level. So you want to multivariate test your primary text and your headlines. And what you can do is test up to 5 variations of this. And then when you've been running ads for a couple of days, you can look in Meta and you can break down which one is driving the most results. And then you can obviously double down on that primary text or headline. So I tend to use this option quite a lot because it enables me to test different variations of copy. And quite often you'll find that there is usually one variation that does better than all of the variations that you're targeting. I then take that learning and I double down. The next tactic is one I mentioned in my last video, which is using ClickSees or any alternatives, because ad fraud is on the rise right now. The number of clients I have getting bot traffic, even botted engagement, is very high. And so by using a tool like ClickSees, you can block out that traffic, you can add it as an exclusion, and that will help clear your funnel out so that Facebook is not going out there and making learnings around the wrong people or from this fraudulent traffic. So if you're not using any of these ad fraud tools, I would definitely recommend it, because you could potentially be getting rid of all of the bots, which will clear up your funnel and get you a better ROAS. Automated rules are another good tactic. If you're running campaigns and you're spending more than 100K a month, I would recommend having a couple of automated rules in place so that if something happens or goes wrong when you're not looking at the ad account, you get alerts, or you actually scale down the budget. And so I have automated rules like if my CPA increases more than 100%, then to create an alert and I can go and look at that campaign. I can also create alerts like when my frequency hits a certain level, pause the ad set or scale down the budget by 20%. So these automated rules can just help you run your campaigns more efficiently, and I would definitely recommend checking those out. Now, running ads on existing posts is another really good tactic because when you get social proof, you get a better click-through rate. There's that brand trust that comes behind your ads. And so if possible, you should always reuse your existing posts, especially ones that have engagement on them, because that will have a massive effect on your click-through rate, your cost per click, and ultimately your CPA. When it comes to lookalikes, what are working best for me right now are lookalikes of first-party data. So I might take a 365-day ad and organic engagement custom audience, create a 3% lookalike, and that has produced better results than going after a 1% lookalike of purchases or even traffic. And it goes back to Facebook not being able to track all of the people in your custom audiences when it's a third-party audience. So I definitely recommend trying out these first-party lookalike audiences. Now, this final tactic has been an important one recently, which is putting less budget into Advantage Plus and putting more into this standard way of targeting people on Facebook. So I would recommend taking some of your Advantage Plus budget right now and redistributing it to a standard ad set with interest where you target a top of funnel audience. And by doing this, you will lower the fluctuations that you see in your ad account. You will also lower the risk. And I personally don't like relying on Advantage Plus as much as I used to because I don't fully trust that it can get the results I want. I have major fluctuations in my ad accounts. And so we are actively shifting budget from Advantage Plus and we're putting it back into the old way of targeting a top of funnel audience. That gives us more control, better ROAS, and less chance of fluctuation. So if you guys found this video helpful, please comment below and let me know if you have any other tactics that you love right now on Meta. Also, if you want more insights, check the link in my bio to my community where we are talking about all things media buying on a much deeper level.